Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Speed and velocity. The quantities in motion which are important are the displacement, velocity, and acceleration. So, in the next lectures, we will discuss these in detail. Today's lecture, we will discuss speed and velocities. What is the speed? Actually, the speed is the ability of a body to cover a distance in unit time. For example, if a body is covering a distance of 2 meters in 1 second, and in the next 1 second, it also covers the distance of 2 meters, and continuously it's covering a distance of 2 meters per second, then we will say that this body has the ability to cover a distance of 2 meters in 1 second, so it has a speed of 2 meters per second. But it is important to mention that it is not necessary that the body has already covered that by distance. For example, if a body, as this athlete, is running and in the start, in the first half second, it has covered a distance of 0.5 meters, and then it covers 1.5 meter in the next 5 seconds. It means at the start, it has the ability of covering a distance of 1 meter per second, as it is covering half meter in half second. Then if it continues with this ability, then it will cover a distance of 1 meter in 1 second. But in the next half second, it has increased its ability. So at this time, it is covering 1.5 meters in half second. It means if it continues to move with this ability for the period of 1 second, then it will cover a distance of 3 meters in 1 second. And in half second, it covers a distance of 1.5. So, in 1 second, it will cover a distance of 3 meters. So, it has the ability of covering a distance of 3 meters in 1 second. So, it has a speed of 3 meters per second. So, it is not necessary that body has covered a distance of 3 meters in half second. It actually, speed is the ability, not the distance covered actually. It is the ability to cover the distance in next 1 second. It covers or not, it is not necessary. At this time, in this event of time, it has ability of 3 meters per second, but in the next half second, it can change its ability. So, it is not necessary to cover that much distance actually. It is the ability at every instant it can change its ability, and we will see that its speed is changing. So speed is the ability to cover a distance in 1 second. For example, in the next half second, if it moves, it keeps its ability, then we will say that it has the same speed. Now, what is the average speed? Average speed is actually the total distance divided by total time. Actually, if a body is moving with variable velocity, variable speed, for example, in first second, it moves with a 3 meter distance in 1 second, and then in the next second, it slows down and it covers a distance of 0.5 meter. And in the next second, it speeds up a little and moves a distance of 1 meter in 1 second. But in the last or 4th second, it covers a distance of 3.5 meters. So we see that here body is changing its speed in all the process. So it has a variable speed. Now, if someone want to describe its whole behavior, say what is the speed of this body, then he cannot tell about certain speed. So he had to take the average of all the speeds. So how we get the average speed? We will divide the whole distance with the total time and we will get the average speed. Whole distance is 8 meters, 3.5, 3.5. So it is 8 meters in 4 seconds. So ratio of 2 will become the 2 meter per second. So body is covering a distance of 8 meter with the average speed of 2 meter per second. Just like this. If this body moves with this much ability, then it will cover the same distance in 4 seconds. Rather, it moves with a variable speed. So we can say that this body is moving with the average speed of 2 meter per second. Average speed totally ignores any variation in the object's actual motion during the trip. The total distance and the total time are all that is important. And the SI unit of the speed, we know that, are meter per second. Now we move towards the instantaneous speed. Instantaneous speed actually is the ability to cover the distance in 1 second at certain instant. For example, if a body is moving with a speed of 2 meter per second, but it is not necessary that at every instant of first second it is moving with the same ability. It may be possible that in the first half second it has covered a distance of 0.5 meters, and in the next half second it has covered a distance of 1.5 meter, but in the whole second it has covered a distance of 2 meter. So it means that its average speed and its instantaneous speed may be different. Furthermore, in the next half second it may cover a distance of 1.4 meters, and in the next half second it may cover a distance of 0.6 meter. It means again it has covered a distance of 2 meter per second, but its instantaneous values of speed are not same. 2 meter per second is not speed at every instant over here. What is the velocity? Similar to the phenomenon of speed, velocity is the ability of a body to change its displacement rather than distance in a unit time at any instant of time. The difference between the speed and the velocity is only the displacement instead of distance. To elaborate this, we have to understand the difference between the distance and the displacement. If a body is moving with the ability of 2 meter per second, for example, initially it covers a distance of 2 meter in 1 second, so it is displaced from its initial point to final point. Totally it is displaced from its first place to the second place a distance of 2 meter, and the shortest distance between these 2 points is 2 meters, so displacement is 2 meter. But in the next second it is totally displaced of 4 meters, and the change in displacement, initially it was first displaced 2 meter and now it is further displaced 2 meter, so change in displacement is 2 meter. From 2 to 4, change is 2 meter. In the next second, change of displacement, it was actually displaced in the previous second 4 meter. Now in this second it is displaced to a 6 meter from its initial position. So change in displacement is now again 2 meter per in 1 second. So in every second it is changing its displacement 2 meters. So we say that rate of change of displacement is 2 meter per second. So the velocity is 2 meter per second. Again, we define the velocity. Velocity is the change in displacement per second, or rate of change of displacement. Students, there is a difference between the displacement and the distance. We can elaborate this concept by this example. For example, if a body covers a distance of 2 meter in 1 second and then 2 meter in 1 second, so this body has covered a distance of 4 meter in 2 seconds. But at the start point and when it reaches to the final point, it is displaced actually a total displacement of 2.82 meters, not 4 meters. It can move through any other path, a longer path rather than 4 meters, but ultimately if it reaches a distance finish point, then we will say that it is displaced from its initial position, its initial place to final place. It is displaced a distance of 2.8 meters. So its speed is not 2 meters per second as he claims that he has distance covered of 4 meters in 2 seconds. We will say that you have displaced a distance of 2.82 meters in 2 seconds. So your speed is rather slow as compared to 2 meters. He is happy that I am covering a distance of 2 meters per second speed, but we will say that your speed is 1.41 meter, and this speed will be known as velocity. So there is a difference between the speed and velocity. Speed is actually 2 meters per second for this body, but the velocity for this body is actually 1.41, not 2. He is covering a distance of 2 meters per second. It is real, but he is displacing from its initial point to the final point with a speed or average ability or average velocity is 1.4 meter per second. So there is a difference between the speed and velocity. Now, what is the average velocity? If the body is moving with a variable speed, for example, as we have already mentioned, if a body has covered a distance of 1 meter, 3 meters in 1 second, then next second it covers a distance of 0.5 meter, then next second 1 meter, and in the last second if it covers a distance of 3.5 meters, it means body is moving with a variable speed. So we have to take the average speed or average velocity, and that average velocity will be 2 meters per second. So it is displacing, if it displaces with this much velocity, then it will cover a distance displacement of 4 meters in displacement of 8 meters in 4 seconds with the same ability if it moves with the average speed, average velocity of 2 meters per second. The both bodies will reach the same time. So average velocity can be calculated by using the total displacement divided by total time. What is the instantaneous velocity? As we have already described the instantaneous speed, this phenomenon is similar to the instantaneous speed. Instantaneous velocity is actually the ability of a body to cover a displacement, displacement in next 1 second at certain instant of time. The limit of average velocity as the time interval becomes very short is the time interval approaches to 0, then this velocity is known as instantaneous velocity, and the concept of instantaneous velocity indicates what is happening at every instant of time. As we have already mentioned, if the body is, if the athlete initially starts with the speed or velocity of 0.5 meter, and in the next second, if it displaces from its initial point to its final point of that second, total displacement of 1.5 meter in 0.5 seconds, then we will say that now it has the ability of changing the displacement, rate of change of displacement is 3 meter per second. If it continues to displace for the whole second, then it will cover a distance of 3 meter. So this athlete has the velocity of 3 meter per second. So instantaneous velocity, and the instantaneous velocity describes the ability of a body of rate of change of displacing per at that instant of time. So it is ability of a body to cover the distance or displacement in next 1 second at certain instant of time. Initially, we know that every second body is displacing with the same displacement per second, but in different instants of time, body has different velocities. In the first half second it is moving slow, in the next half second it moves fast, and etc. Uniform velocity, it's the last concept. If the velocity of a body is equal in equal intervals of time, however the intervals may be very small, then we say that this body is covering or moving with the uniform velocity. For example, if a body covers a distance of 2 meter in 1 second, then next in 2 meter per second, then next it covers a distance of 2 meter in 1 second, and in the last it covers a distance of 2 meter per second. But if we observe, if the body is moving with a uniform velocity, then in the smaller instance of time, very small instant of time, if we check in small instance of time, its speed or ability of covering the distance will be same. For example, it has ability of 2 meter per second at the start, in the first whole second, and if we divide the whole second into half of second, then its ability remains same. It is moving the same ability. If we get the ratio of 1 over 0.5, then it will become 2. 1 over 0.5 will be 2. So the body is covering equal displacement in equal interval of time. And the velocity is the 2 meter per second. In every 0.5 second, it is moving with the velocity 2. And if we further cut down the time instant value, and we observe or analyze in the every 0.25 second, then we see that if the body covers equal displacement, then we claim that this body has a uniform velocity. You can further cut down or decrease the instant of time for analysis purpose, but the ability of the body of covering the distance will remain the same. Ability means ratio of the distance over time, or the velocity will remain the same. However, the instant may be very small, but the velocity will remain same. If this phenomena happens, if this occurs, then we say that this body is moving with a uniform velocity. If the body is covering equal displacement in equal interval of time, but on decreasing the interval of time, the distance becomes variable at different distances, then we say that body is not covering or moving with the uniform velocity. Thank you students for watching the video, and keep continue watching our lectures. These will benefit inshallah in your studies.